Have you ever felt like someone was making you act in ways you didn't want to? Or maybe you noticed that your opinions and desires always seem to be sidelined? Manipulation can be subtle, often escaping our immediate notice, yet its effects can be profound and damaging. Manipulators use hidden techniques to control your behavior and push you into acting in their best interests, often against your own. Recognizing these signs is essential so that you don't fall into their traps. Today we're going to discuss 7 signs of manipulation and how Stoic principles can provide a shield, allowing you to recognize manipulation, maintain your autonomy, and protect your inner strength. One of the most powerful and frequently used tactics is guilt. Manipulators understand that guilt is a deeply uncomfortable feeling, and they wield it to make you feel responsible for their disappointment or dissatisfaction. They might use phrases like, "I would never have done that to you," or "I thought you were a better friend," implying that you've let them down. This tactic taps into your sense of duty and morality, making you feel that you owe them something to make up for their supposed disappointment. They may even amplify their reaction, becoming overly upset, sighing heavily, or withdrawing affection, all to emphasize how much you've hurt them. According to Stoicism, our emotions are within our control, and we have the power to choose how we feel. If someone is trying to make you feel guilty, it's important to take a step back and examine the situation objectively. Epictetus said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them." This is a reminder that guilt often arises not from our actual actions, but from the way others interpret them. When someone tries to induce guilt, recognize it for what it is: a strategy to sway you. Hold to your values and make decisions based on what you believe is right, rather than trying to appease someone else's judgment. Another common manipulation technique involves using compliments to influence you. This tactic begins with the manipulator showering you with praise, making you feel special, talented, or valued. They may say, "You're the best person for this task," or "I don't know anyone as capable as you," only to follow up with a request that benefits them. Their goal is to make you feel a sense of obligation to live up to their high opinion of you, pushing you to take actions you might not otherwise take. They may also shift quickly between praise and criticism, causing confusion and a desire to win back their approval when it's withheld. Stoicism teaches us that praise, just like criticism, should not define our sense of self. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In this context, praise is an outside event. It's pleasant to hear compliments, but they should not influence your decisions. True strength lies in following your values and principles, rather than letting others' opinions dictate your actions. When someone tries to use flattery to manipulate you, stay grounded and remember that your worth is inherent. Your actions should be guided by what you believe, not by what others want from you. Manipulators often play on your fears and anxieties. They know what worries you, and they leverage these insecurities to guide your behavior. For example, they might say, "If you don't help me, something terrible could happen," implying that you are somehow responsible for preventing it. They might also exaggerate potential consequences, making you feel that you are their only hope or that everything will fall apart without your help. This tactic is particularly powerful because fear can be paralyzing, leading you to comply quickly just to relieve the anxiety they've stirred up. The Stoics teach us that fear is a product of our mind, not of the actual events we face. Seneca famously said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." When someone tries to play on your fears, pause and remind yourself that fear is often exaggerated by our minds. Ground yourself in the present reality. Separate what you know to be true from what someone else is trying to make you believe. By confronting your fears directly and seeing them for what they are, you weaken the manipulator's hold on you and build resilience against future attempts. Constant criticism is another subtle manipulation tactic. Some manipulators repeatedly find fault in everything you do, from your decisions to your personal qualities. They might say things like, "You never get this right," or "Why can't you do things properly?" Over time, this persistent negativity can erode your self-confidence, making you question your own abilities and seek approval from the very person criticizing you. Manipulators often disguise their criticism as tough love or say they're just trying to help you, making it even harder to see through the act. Stoicism teaches us that criticism from others does not define who we are. Epictetus suggested that we are the only ones responsible for how we feel and react. If someone constantly criticizes you, remind yourself that their words are a reflection of their perspective, not of your true self-worth. Take an objective look at yourself and decide if there's any validity to the criticism. Often you'll find that constant criticism is not about your actions or abilities, but about the critic's desire to control or demean. Remember, you are responsible for your happiness and growth, not for meeting someone else's flawed expectations. Manipulators may also use silence and withdrawal as a tactic to gain control. They might stop responding to messages, withdraw from interactions, or even ignore you altogether. This silent treatment creates unease, leaving you wondering if you've done something wrong. In your attempt to fix things, you may find yourself bending over backward to win back their favor, effectively placing yourself under their control. This tactic is especially powerful because it makes you question your own actions, leading you to analyze every interaction, wondering what you did wrong. The Stoics remind us that we should not let our peace of mind depend on others. Marcus Aurelius taught, "Accept the things to which fate binds you." When someone uses silence as a form of manipulation, recognize it as a reflection of their own insecurity or control issues. Your worth and stability are not defined by someone else's responses. Stay focused on your own values and recognize that true peace comes from within. Don't let someone's silent treatment disturb your inner balance. A more insidious form of manipulation is gaslighting, where manipulators make you doubt your reality by twisting facts or denying things they've said or done. They might say, "You're being too sensitive," or "That never happened," making you question your own perceptions and feel increasingly dependent on their version of events. Gaslighting can have a deeply damaging effect on your self-trust. The manipulator might even enlist others to reinforce their version of reality, leaving you feeling isolated and unsure of your own thoughts. Stoicism teaches us to ground ourselves in reality and trust our own senses. Epictetus advised that wisdom and understanding should guide our actions. When someone tries to make you question your reality, remind yourself that your perceptions are valid and trust your inner sense of truth. Reaffirm what you know and don't let anyone's words shake your faith in yourself. Building this internal foundation helps you stand strong against attempts to distort your perspective. Conditional affection is a classic manipulation tactic, where manipulators show warmth or support only when you're doing something for them. When you meet their expectations, they are friendly, but if you refuse, they withdraw affection. This tactic leverages your natural need for connection, making you feel you must earn their love or respect. Manipulators using conditional affection often shift between warmth and coldness, leaving you anxious to win back their favor whenever it's withheld. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of self-sufficiency and self-worth. Seneca said, "As long as you are ruled by the opinion of others, you're not free." Recognize conditional affection as a form of control. True respect and love do not depend on fulfilling someone else's demands. Your actions should come from a place of self-respect, not from a need for validation. Cultivate self-reliance and you'll find freedom from this form of manipulation. Manipulators may also use your kindness and compassion against you, exploiting these qualities to fulfill their own needs. They might say, "I have no one else to turn to," or "I really need you right now," framing their requests in such a way that refusing seems heartless. This is especially difficult for those who value empathy and want to support others. However, it's a manipulation tactic that can drain your resources and leave you feeling used. Over time, they may increase their demands, knowing that you're unlikely to refuse because you don't want to be seen as unkind or selfish. Stoic philosophy advises us to give freely when we choose, but also to recognize when our compassion is being taken advantage of. Epictetus taught the importance of wise judgment in choosing where to place our energy. Just as you cannot pour from an empty cup, you must learn to preserve your well-being by recognizing when helping others comes at too great a cost. Reflect on whether you are truly able to help without harm to yourself. And remember, healthy boundaries are a sign of strength, not weakness. All these signs share one goal: controlling your actions and emotions. Manipulation is often subtle, but once you learn to recognize it, it loses its power. Stoic philosophy teaches us to cultivate an inner strength that remains unmoved by external influence. When you encounter manipulation, remember that you are in control of your own reactions. Your mind and values are your sanctuary, and no one can touch that without your permission. Surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries and value you for who you are, not for what they want from you. If this video has helped you recognize manipulation and protect yourself, give it a like and share your thoughts in the comments. To ensure you don't miss future videos on Stoicism and building inner strength, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.